Hello everyone and welcome to week 3 of the St. Louis VGC Draft League. Today we have a matchup in the red group, Tapu Nani, coach of the Totally Toad Schools, up against Crove, coach of the currently unnamed. This is an important match, Tapu Nani wanting to secure their spot as the second 3-0 team in the red group, and with the good win differential here, take the number 1 spot in the red group, while Crove is fighting for their first win of the season thus far. Tapu Nani bringing the Alakazam, the Mega Excadrill, the Mega Meganium, the Maushold, the Ceruledge, and the Rotom-W up against Crove, who has the Mega Dragalge, Quaquaval, the Tauros, Paldean Tauros, specifically Blaze Breed, and we will see the Floette Eternal not Mega, the Venusaur not Mega, and the Malamarr not Mega. So we see an Intimidate going out into the Maushold and the Alakazam, and this Alakazam looks poised to do big damage, outspeeding and threatening Psychic KOs onto both of the fighting types on Crove's side of the field. That being said, Alakazam is incredibly frail. We could see some sort of Choice Scarf move to allow it to take it out, but Maushold goes for the Follow Me, saying, hey, I don't care if I go down to a fighting move. I am protecting the Alakazam. There's Aqua Jet into the Maushold, presumably going into the Alakazam, and Psyshock is going to do massive damage into this duck. We see Focus Sash on the Quaquaval, which will allow it to hang on, does reveal that item, but what is this Tauros going to go for? It goes for Raging Bull, fire type damage into the Maushold, but none of these fighting types went for a fighting type move, which means that the Maushold hangs on and munches on its citrus berries, surviving there. An Aqua Jet will not be enough to finish off the Maushold, and you have to imagine that with the speed advantage on Crove's, on Tapu Nani's side of the field, yes, there's a feint just doing the last little bit of damage into the Quaquaval, and we have to imagine that another Psyshock is going into this Tauros. So a bad lead matchup by Crove does give Tapu Nani an early 2-0 advantage in this game number 1. We'll see what Crove brought in the back. It is the Mega Dragalge and the Venusaur, so Crove not bringing the Malamarr, which is the only stop into the Psychic type offense that Tapu Nani brought. 2 poisons and 2 fighting type Pokemon are incredibly weak to this Alakazam. A good bring by Tapu Nani this week, and we could just potentially see this Alakazam sweep. We'll see what shenanigans the Venusaur and the now Mega Dragalge have up in sleeve, however. Mega Dragalge is, of course, an incredibly specially defensive Pokemon. 163 special defense, but this Alakazam has Psyshock as a way to mitigate that. Alakazam goes for Protect, as does the Maushold, wanting to scout out, gain knowledge for future games. What moves do these Pokemon know? We see the Energy Ball go into the Maushold and a Scald into the Alakazam. Not clicking something like a Draco Meteor saying, if you switch, or I want a move in order to hit your Excadrill and potentially get a burn on it. That's a great coverage move for this Dragalge into the Mega Excadrill. We see it now going for a Protect, wanting to stay up this turn, while we see a Follow Me from the Maushold. Venusaur will go for the Energy Ball, trying to get good damage into the Maushold, and will be able to take it out finally. We'll see the Psyshock, and it is going to hit into the Dragalge, allowing Crove to get some knowledge on what Tapu Nani wanted to bring in the back this game. Is the Ceruledge. Is weak to that Scald, but is threatening super effective fire damage into the Venusaur. So we'll see if a Psyshock from this Alakazam is going to be enough to take out the Venusaur. And Venusaur outspeeds. That does imply a Choice Scarf Venusaur good information for Tapu Nani to have going into game number 2. A Psyshock is easily able to take out the Mega Dragalge, and a Bitter Blade is going to take out the Venusaur. So a very quick 3-0 victory in game number 1 for Tapu Nani. And we will see how Crove will adjust going into this next game. Looking at the Pokemon Crove has access to in the 6 that he brought, I have to imagine that the Malamarr will be coming. Having all of your Pokemon weak to Psyshock, just a single move from the Alakazam, is not something you want in your games. And it will, of course, be able to do massive damage into the Alakazam, or just click superpowers into a Maushold that's just trying to click Follow Me and get some defense boosts. So we will see if that is how Crove adjusts. From Tapu Nani, that game went about as well as you could reasonably expect. You didn't reveal too much. You learned a lot about what Crove has on access to. And so both players lock in what they decide to go for in this game number 2. We'll see how Crove adjusts. We see the Malamarr and the Venusaur saying, hey, I'll at least have some speed control and a much better lead matchup. This Venusaur is threatening big poison type damage into this Mega Meganium, but the Follow Me from the Maushold is a massive threat. The Malamarr, of course, would love to just attack into the Maushold here and with a superpower, but a Dazzling Gleam would do good damage into this Malamarr. So there's the Follow Me. So what are we going to see the Venusaur go for here? A Scary Face, trying to slow down the Pokemon on the side of Tapu Nani's field, but that Weather Ball automatically fire-type damage due to the ability of the Mega Meganium. That Mega Soul will allow it to take out the Venusaur, as we see the Mega Malamarr trying to set up, going for superpowers, getting some defense and attack boosts. But we'll see what goes forward. Now, we do know that the Maushold is slower now. If it doesn't go for a priority move like the Follow Me, any sort of Population Bomb or Super Fang or Thunder Wave shenanigans are not going to really be anything to worry about. There's a Helping Hand into the Malamarr. What is it going to go for? Who is it going to target? Maushold just going for Feint, trying to get a little bit of damage down as this Dazzling Gleam comes out from the Mega Meganium. We see a Psycho Cut, but even at +1 attack and a Helping Hand boost, that's just not doing much into this Mega Meganium. Mega Meganium, of course, being a pretty bulky Pokemon, all things considered. And now we see the double up with this Light of Ruin saying, I need you off the field now. But again, just not quite as much damage as you want to see. It hangs on, gets another Dazzling Gleam off, and takes out the Malamarr before it can move. Meanwhile, the Floette's living on a prayer. We see Encore into the Mega Floette, so it is locked into that Light of Ruin. Not the worst move to be locked into. You'll guarantee a KO on one of Tapu Nani's Pokemon, but the Mega Dragalge is out, threatening big damage into either of the Pokemon Ben is currently showing on the field. So we will see. Here's the Mega Evolution from the Dragalge. We will see if it outspeeds the Maushold, if the Maushold feels like it needs to go for Feint into the Floette Eternal here, and it does, and it is, with that normal stab, able to take out the Floette. There's a Sludge Bomb, so the speed advantage is on the side of the Mega Dragalge, going for some speed. Not something you'd normally think about, but just enough to outspeed this Grass Fairy Mega Meganium. But now we see the Ceruledge take to the field, and you have to imagine that eventually Tapu Nani will be able to win this 3v1 against the Mega Dragalge. There's a feint, breaking a protect if the Dragalge wanted to go for it, followed by a Poltergeist. Going to do big ghost-type damage into this Mega Dragalge. It will not quite take it out, but all it can do is go for a Sludge Bomb into Maushold, hope to be able to take it out, but no crit, no poison. That will do it. Outside of a series of Poltergeist misses, I have to imagine that Tapu Nani will take this game 2-0. We'll see what are the players thinking. Is there any way out of this? On the side of Crove, that's what he's pondering at this moment. How can I try to get out of this situation I have found myself in? But I don't think there is at this time. And so we see the Protect coming out from the Dragalge, and you have to imagine another feint is coming out and will shatter that Protect. Doesn't quite get the KO. The KO will go to the Ceruledge here with a Shadow Sneak. And that will do it for this game number 2 and this match in total. Congratulations to Tapu Nani going 2-0 in this series. And with that performance, I do believe that with the differential advantage, that will give them the edge over the Sentiments in the red group, allowing them to take seed number 1 here at the end of week 3. No other teams have the opportunity to go 3-0, so it's just the Sentiments and the Toad Schools here at the top of the red conference. Good game to Tapu Nani, good game to Crove, and I can't wait to see what they've got in the last 5 weeks of the season. But to all of you watching, thank you so much. Hope to see you again in the next video. Goodbye!